If series. If the sun were to suddenly turn into a cold star one day, the day the sun went cold, Earth's final challenge against a frozen star, the last 8 minutes and 20 seconds of sunlight. We receive an enormous amount of energy from the sun every single second. But what if, one day, nuclear fusion inside the sun suddenly stopped and the sun went cold? Given the distance between the sun and Earth, we would only realize it about 8 minutes and 20 seconds later. The first change a darkened Earth would face after light disappears wouldn't be fear, but silence. Gravity would remain unchanged, so Earth wouldn't drift out of its orbit, but its temperature would begin to plummet rapidly. How could humanity survive inside this planet-wide freezer? Today, we explore humanity's final engineering struggle for survival. Part 1. Collapse of atmospheric engineering. Air turned to liquid. Within a week of losing sunlight, Earth's average temperature would fall below 0 degrees Celsius. And after a year, it would drop past 100 degrees C. From this point on, strange physical phenomena begin to occur. Moisture in the atmosphere would no longer just fall as snow. Carbon dioxide would freeze into dry ice and descend. And eventually, even the nitrogen and oxygen we breathe would liquefy and pool on the ground. In engineering terms, this means the disappearance of atmospheric pressure. Humanity would no longer be able to breathe on the surface, and Earth would transform into an airless world, much like the Moon or Mars. We would now be living in a world where, without sealed environment engineering, we couldn't survive even a single second. Part 2. Survival engineering. Fortress of geothermal and nuclear energy. As the surface cools toward absolute zero, humanity's only hope lies below. The geothermal heat released from Earth's hot core, and the nuclear energy humanity has accumulated, become the keys to survival. Vast underground cities would rise in regions rich in geothermal energy, such as Iceland. Here, humanity must generate its own light and heat through nuclear fusion power, our artificial sun. Agriculture would be replaced by smart farms that use LEDs of specific wavelengths instead of sunlight. And water would have to be drawn from the liquid layers beneath the frozen oceans, purified and used. The paramount mission for engineers of this era is to build a fully closed ecological system in which every resource circulates without loss. Part 3. The Great Shift in Bioengineering. Birth of life without light. Once photosynthesis stops, all plant life on the surface meets its end. This means the disappearance of oxygen sources and the collapse of the entire food chain. Yet microorganisms near deep-sea hydrothermal vents would continue to survive, sustaining themselves through chemosynthesis without any sunlight. Humanity must analyze their genes and push synthetic biology to its peak, creating organisms capable of producing organic matter without light. Through gene editing technologies, we may develop crops capable of surviving extreme cold. And even the human body itself could be redesigned, enhanced with artificial organs and reinforced suits to function optimally in low-gravity, low-temperature environments. Part 4. Space engineering. Turning Earth into a giant starship. The cold sun no longer provides us with energy. Yet paradoxically, it creates conditions that lower the barrier to venturing into space. With solar wind and radiation gone, space becomes a far safer environment for electronic systems. Humanity will come to regard Earth itself as a single, colossal spacecraft. Humanity will build a logistics network that mines resources from other planets in the solar system and transports them back to our underground cities. And in the long term, we will prepare for interstellar travel, leaving the solar system in search of a new star. Earth is no longer a mere appendage of the sun. It becomes an independent planetary base, fully controlled by human technology. Conclusion. Technology that shines brighter in the darkness. The scenario of a dying sun reminds us that technology is no longer mere convenience. It is survival itself. When the sunlight and warmth we once took for granted disappear, what will sustain humanity is ultimately the scientific knowledge we have built, and the engineering we refuse to abandon. Just as a small candle burns brighter in deeper darkness, human intellect will shine more brilliantly than ever on an Earth without the sun. If eternal night were to fall, what is the very first technology you would want to develop? Share your survival strategy in the comments. Your subscriptions and likes greatly support the creation of this YouTube content. Thus concludes the If series.